Long ago, during the time, there was a great god in the god realms named Mahadeva. And he's very powerful. He's the overlord of all the gods. He's the overlord of the demigods. Within samsara, you have gods and demigods. And he's very powerful. He's not enlightened, but he has a lot of psychic power. He can control many, many things. But his primary attachment was to eroticism. His primary attachment was to basically copulation. And he was very much into it. His mind focused on that. He's very beautiful. He's very handsome. He's very good looking. He doesn't smell. He rules huge, vast godly empires. He has gods and goddesses under him. And he has 4 principal goddesses that are his consort. And he was so desirous and he was so into copulation that during the 4 times of the day, he would switch copulation with one of the goddesses, meaning he was always in copulation with one of them. He would have them embracing him, and they would be in full copulation while he was eating, while he was sleeping, while he was walking. You say, how's that possible? Well, he's not an ordinary being. It is possible. And other gods would have all kinds of parties. And they'd invite him to the parties. And he was so busy copulating, he couldn't go to the parties, but he had psychic powers to see what's going on. So what he would do is he would send a phallic symbol. He would send a statue or an image, a phallic symbol of his private organ, and that would float with attendants, that would float with music and banners and, with canopies, and it would float to the party, and they would have to put this phallic symbol at the top seat, the best seat in the house. And then all the other gods have to come and offer milk and incense and offer flowers and garlands and pay respect because it was him coming. So he encouraged the worship of eroticism and copulation. So anybody who worshipped him would get boons, would get assistance, would get help, but they would be infused and they would be overwhelmed by a sense of sexual desire that overrode everything. And to the point of ruining their lives. Not just the gods, not so much, but beings who worshipped in samsara, this Mahadeva. So what happened was he would see if his phallic symbol was being worshipped at the parties. He would see if they're showing respect, because if they didn't, he would punish them. He would be very upset. He wanted respect. So therefore, at that time, Shakyamuni saw that it was time to subdue this being. So Shakyamuni himself emanated in the form of Mahadeva with four faces. With a wrathful face, with an angry face, with a wrathful angry face, with a desirous face, with a peaceful face, etc. And he would have 12 arms with 12 different weapons, and two legs, and holding onto a consort. And Shakyamuni emanated in 4 main consorts that accompanied him. So he emanated in front of Mahadeva in an exact replica of him. And then Mahadeva controlled 24 power places in the world. And these 24 power places had a male and female guardian that watched the place. So Shakyamuni emanated a Daka and Dakini in each of these places to counter each of those gods, each of those beings. And so when Mahadeva saw this great god, and when Mahadeva saw this great being that looked just like him, but more powerful, more on fire, more blazing, more bigger, with more abilities, he was subdued. He immediately offered himself and his consort to Shakyamuni's feet. And Shakyamuni, of course, appeared in the form of Hiruka. So he offered himself to Hiruka's feet, and he wasn't forced unto Hiruka's feet. He offered himself unto Hiruka's feet, Hiruka and Vajrayogini, the mother, and he offered his consort under the feet of Hiruka and Vajrayogini. So what happens in today's Tanka representations, you see Hiruka stepping on Mahadeva, and he's facing down with his head bent over backwards. So the tip of the feet is stepped on the forehead, and the heel of the feet is on the center part of the back where the heart is.